See if I can figure out how this stuff works. Hello. Hello. Microphone check 1 2. What is this? Coming in hot with that nerdy business. Welcome everybody to the Nerdy About Nature podcast. My name is Ross. I'll be your host of this audio visual adventure here through the outdoor world, and I'm super stoked to be here. For those of you who don't know, Nerdy About Nature is a bit of a passion project thing that I started prior to the pandemic, a video series mostly on Instagram, eventually making its way over to TikTok and YouTube, that aims to educate, inform, and inspire folks from all walks of life about the world around us so that we can all work together to create a more just, equitable, sustainable, and inclusive future for us all, regardless of our gender, race, religion, species, class, or domain. So basically, if you're a living, breathing anything on this planet, this podcast and this project is for you, although it's primarily going to appeal to those of you who can speak and understand English. So if you've seen the videos, and if you haven't, I highly recommend you checking them out at Nerdy About Nature. But you'll notice one of the first things is that I talk really, really fast. And that's not actually something that I particularly enjoy doing, but rather something that kind of evolved out of necessity of trying to cram all this information into a short 1-minute video that captured people's attention spans before they just kept on swiping. So I've really been looking for a medium of some kind that allows me to expand on some of these ideas, have more nuanced and like full in-depth conversations, and a podcast seemed like the best way to do that. So I'm going to have 2 formats here. One is audio for those of you listening, while you're driving, at work, at the gym, at school, whatever it is, wherever it is that you listen to your podcast, and a video version on YouTube that you can check out as well. So I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity to create a podcast to kind of play around and explore a bit, to try out a couple different things. And the first thing that I'm really looking to do is a series called the Nerdy About Nature Podchats, where I sit down and chat with people about different subjects pertaining to nature, the world around us, or even human nature, because after all, humans are a part of nature, not apart from nature. I'm also making a big effort to have all of these conversations outside because in my mind, the best conversations always happen outside, out here in the real world, rather than some manufactured set or studio. So I'd like to take this moment and put up a bit of a disclaimer here because I, just like you, am a human. And as a human, we are bound to make mistakes. I promise you I'm going to make mistakes. In fact, I guarantee it. At some point during this whole adventure here, this whole exploration into a podcast series, I'm going to fuck up and I'm going to say something or do something that, comes across wrong. Maybe my numbers are wrong. Maybe I come across as arrogant or naive or a total asshole, whatever it is. Like, I'm sorry. I am going to make mistakes. That's part of it, As humans, we all make mistakes, and from those mistakes, we learn, we grow, and we move forward. So I'm inviting you all to join me here in this conversation and make some mistakes with me, learn with me, grow with me, and together we can all move forward. I'm creating this whole podcast and this pod chat series in particular to be able to forcefully put myself in a position of vulnerability and open up to having conversations and dialogue that might not always be comfortable, with the end goal of maybe, opening your mind up to different thoughts or ideas, and ideally encouraging you to do the same in your life. Because, after the past couple years of the pandemic and various political things, I feel like we've all become so siloed in our own little echo chambers. And I see communication as a really important tool to breaking down the barriers between us and getting us all to work together for a better future. So that includes not only speaking your mind and your truth, but also listening to and considering what the other party has to say from a place of empathy and compassion. So let's think about things a little bit differently and feel just a little bit more comfortable stepping into the unknown together. So having said all of that, I'm incredibly stoked to have you here with me. I've got a couple really great speakers lined up and people that I've chatted with for the first couple episodes, and I'm looking forward to sharing those with you in the coming weeks here. But for now, I'm going to leave you with something that is, pretty awkward, embarrassing, but I'm also kind of proud of it. It's the Nerdy About Nature theme song written and performed by yours truly. So enjoy. Come and take a nature walk with me. We're gonna check out some really cool trees. We're gonna hang around and talk about all those things in nature that we can't live without. Let's go get nerdy, yeah, let's get nerdy about nature. Nerdy, yeah, let's get nerdy about nature, baby. Nerdy, yeah, let's get nerdy about nature. Come on, let's get nerdy about nature.